another young Indian with us today, Voice of the Young series. Hello, everyone. Good to be back. Right now, we have with us Vandita Mukherjee. Let's listen to her. Over to you, Vandita.
Firstly, thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity. It's a truly new concept, and I'm very glad to be part of this initiative by you. So basically, I did my bachelor's in economics from Jadavpur University in Kolkata, and right now I'm doing my master's in economics from IIT Delhi. So that's basically about my intro, and I am here to share my journey about in the field of economics, like how I started and how I found my passion. I hope some of it will be useful for our young viewers of this channel. So basically, many of my peers were uh, pursuing engineering or medical, which is very common in Bengali households. But for me, I was very sure about what I wanted to pursue, and it was economics. I was decided from my 10th standard itself.
Wow.
So yeah, yeah,
Most of us are confused in 10th standard.
yeah. So even though back then in 10th standard, the economics that we are taught has absolutely no relation with what is economics actually. But then also, like, I had a general knack for understanding how the economy works. I had many questions, like in the newspapers also, like we often see many jargons used, and I just wanted to understand like what happens, how it happens when it comes to the economy. So anyway, fast forward from there, as planned, I took bachelor's. I pursued my bachelor's in economics, and but my undergraduate was sort of not as nice as I had planned it because COVID hit. But I would say that I utilized the pandemic also very well, and it actually broadened my horizons in the sense that it was the time I started doing other activities and realized my other interests. And it was the time that I enrolled in the entrepreneurship cell of my college, and I was involved in its activities as a core team member for over 2 years. And at that time, I also interacted with many BTech students from JU, and they formed a greater part of my circle. So it was a very enriching experience, and I also discovered that I'm really passionate about entrepreneurship too, because our college really facilitated that startup culture. And among my friends, also, there were many people who actually started their startup, and they registered it also, and they were really serious about it.
Mhm.
So I got to understand more about that, and I was involved in many events, and I was also involved in the HULT Prize program, which is a global social entrepreneurship event. And every year it has some social cause that it addresses.
So could you say that
So
name again? I missed it. What program is this?
it it is the HULT Prize program. It is
HULT, HULT, right?
yeah,
It's
it's
from
HULT,
United States,
HULT.
right? It's from United.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So Bill Clinton gives the problem statement for every year. Like it is usually related to some UN Sustainable Development Goals. And the year I participated, it was related to food crisis and the severe food shortage. So it was a totally different experience, and it had absolutely, it did not have much correlation with economics as such, but I think that is also a core part of my interest. And given a chance, I would pursue entrepreneurship also further in my career. And but apart from that, I also started my own economics blog in this pandemic. And I and my classmate, we actually invited many people, like even our classmates who are not pursuing economics formally, but have a knack to read up different facts and have interests in economics, finance, and related fields. So even though they wrote articles in our blog, and that also was a huge success. That was
Yeah.
one
Wonderful.
thing. Yeah.
Wonderful.
So, yeah. So that was how I mostly spent my time in pandemic. And apart from that, in my undergraduate years, I had the good fortune to interact with many of the leading professors in the country, because Jadavpur University has some of the best faculty in the country, and given a chance, I could also interact with them, mostly through the digital mode since we were still stuck at our homes because of the pandemic. But that also like really helped me understand that I'm passionate about my subject and I would like to go for a master's. So, given that, I started preparing for my master's, and but the first year I graduated in 2022, but the first year my preparation wasn't so great, and being very overly ambitious, I only wanted to do my master's from the best places in the country. And even though I received quite a few admits, and but I just couldn't make up my mind. So I enrolled in the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade for some time. I got to in the Kolkata campus, and I continued for classes for some time there, and I it so the course offers a specialization in trade and finance. And even though I was interested, I am very much interested in finance. I was not sure that it is the right choice for me, because the second year has fully electives based in trade and finance, and there are very limited options. So for people who are absolutely sure that they want to go into trade as well as finance, it is a very great option. But it wasn't for me,
Okay.
because in my mind I had the image of DSC or ISI, and they had much more options for you to specialize for people who are not so sure. And also, I wanted to move out of Kolkata very badly because all of these years I was in Kolkata, and somewhere deep down I realized that even though Jadavpur was a great place, even though the students here are top notch and everything, the professors are great, but still I needed the exposure that Delhi is providing me. So for that, I was basically stuck in a dilemma for a long time. I continued my studies there, but even after a semester, I just couldn't make up my mind at IIT. So I took a very hard decision, and I'm very proud of that decision. It was a very determined move, I would say, and even in my friends group, I haven't seen many of my friends doing that. So without any backup plan, I just left the course. I just dropped out, and the next year entrances were very far away. And even then, I wasn't sure that I would be able to make it, because from that year the CUET exams started, and JNU also actually was taking admission for that CUET exam, and those exams were kind of in the first year it was really messed up because there were wrong answer keys published by NTA, and wrong scores beliefs, and many things happened. It was a lot of harassment for the students. So given such a tumultuous situation, I wasn't sure if that was uh, the right thing to do. Looking back, I know it was, but at that time, it was a very risky decision, and almost everyone I talked with told me not to go for it. But I was absolutely determined, and I knew that I don't see myself here. Like, this is not the place for me. So that one year, I was totally just preparing for entrances. I distanced myself from everyone, everything, and I just had absolutely a laser-eyed focus. Uh, and after that, I started appearing for all the entrances. So even then, like I did not. I mean, some of those were not satisfactory, and but thankfully, I got through IIT Delhi. And amongst the other colleges that I got, IIT Delhi was the best option for me because I was by then I had made up my mind that after my masters I would be going for corporate placement.
Okay.
So yeah, so IIT Delhi turned out to be the best choice for me, and that's where I am today.
Okay. Just before you, I had another speaker, a woman who, after her graduation, decided that she would do her master's at the best possible place. And she didn't get into the best possible place, and against all advice, decided to take a gap year and
Okay.
study and work hard, and she got into a very good place. Few days ago, I had another young woman who was from Lucknow, BA from Delhi, didn't get into the desired master's program, went back to Lucknow, and everybody's saying, why don't you just do your master's if you're hell-bent on it from Lucknow? And what's going on in your mind? You're wasting your life. And all. And she said, no, I'm going to do it. And she got into a top college of her choice. So you are the third young woman, second today, and the third in the last 10 days who said, I knew what I wanted. I want a good top choice, and I'm going to work hard for it. I'll wait for it. If it takes some time, I'll do it. And of course, I think your parents' support is essential because nobody else is
Yeah,
supporting.
absolutely.
Nobody else is supporting you.
No one, nobody else did, and like so that was the time like only my parents supported me, my family supported me to a great extent. And
Yeah.
definitely, like because I was determined and I was showing a lot of courage. So, but that would not have been possible if my family did not push me, and they also told me that you should go for it. And you're so unsettled where you are. But I had to sort of distance myself from everyone else because there are so many opinions and people will constantly advise you against it, and they will tell you a variety of things that Jadavpur was such a good place. Like you should have done your master's from there. Like why did you leave it at the first place? Then why are you leaving IISC? And the list was endless. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
but
Okay. It shows that you have the guts, supported, of course, by your parents. You have the
yeah,
guts.
definitely.
And if you have the guts, sometimes things do work out. And in your
Exactly.
case, you are satisfied with the choice that you have. And plus, as you said, you wanted to broaden your life, and staying in Kolkata, even if it is very good, is staying in Kolkata. And Kolkata, of course, in masters, it has
Mhm.
people from other parts of India. But if you just stayed on in Jadavpur for a master's, then you won't have had that experience. But I'm sure in IIFT, there are people from all over India in Kolkata. But once you move to IIT Delhi, then of course it's a different world, right?
Crowd is totally different. It has it has students from DU and all the other state universities also. Like there is a very cosmopolitan crowd, and we get to hear different stories, and people have been doing their graduation so differently from what we have been doing. So that adds more dimension to our journey because here like everyone's story is more or less the same, like they have done their bachelor's, they're from CU or JU or Presi, and they are doing the same thing. They Those who stick to masters in Kolkata, they are just doing their masters from these 3 4 places. Like there are not much options, and they also have their career plans in the same places, like they'll be doing the same things. So I wasn't so sure that like what I want to do. Like I mean, I know I'll be going for placements, but I not exactly sure like where I find myself. So I wanted more guidance, and I wanted to see that what other people are doing. Like what are the other opportunities that I have? What better can I do from what I already know?
So you are now in
So
your first year, right? This is the beginning of your
yeah,
master, right?
yeah.
How How do you find it? Are you happy that you are here, or is it tough? Just tell us about it.
Yeah. So I just completed my 2 months at IIT Delhi. I just completed my first half semester, and so the campus is very nice, and professors are very approachable, and the peers are also great. And about the course, it is definitely a bit tedious because it is a technology institute after all, and it adds that dimension to your economics course. So I often receive questions that why IIT for economics and why not BSc or ISI. So given the fact that as of now I'm still interested in the quantitative side of economics and I would specialize in finance or quantitative econometrics or those allied fields. Given that fact, I saw that IIT offers like many electives and they offer a great deal of choice for those who want to specialize in these fields because we can take electives from any department. Like we can take it from mathematics or statistics or machine learning or even for those who want to go into psychology or pol science, they can take electives from those fields also. So basically, you are getting the best from your department. Apart from that, when you're taking the electives, you're getting the best of the other departments too, like wherever you want to specialize.
Yeah,
Because economics at master's level is a bit interdisciplinary. It is
yeah,
not just macro micro. You have to kind of choose your specialization.
yeah.
So you get to choose your specialization from the best department. And because it is a tech institute, the quant departments are really great over here. So I'm getting the best from the best faculty in the country. So given that it seemed like a very logical choice for me, and
Okay,
yeah,
but
I'm not regretting that at all.
okay. So, is it a culture shock to be with so many techies? Uh,
Yeah, that definitely is like if you compare yourself with the BTECs, you'll always feel inferior. But the point is that even for those who want to pursue economics from IIT, IIT has a lot to offer for just the economic students also. Like, it is not just for techies.
okay.
It offers a very, yeah, it offers faculties who have pursued their PhDs and they have done their masters from all the brilliant places. And the faculty is outstanding. I mean, I could go on about it, but the more outstanding part about it is that they are very reachable. And I think that because we have a very good student to teacher ratio, so currently my batch has about 15 to 20 students. So given that, we are basically getting the personalized attention of all the professors and we are able to get the best from the course.
Okay, that's a very. You're the first one I have talked to who has a master's from any IIT. Okay, many people have, gone later, like, for a PhD or something like that. So good to hear from you directly as to what it is like to be at an IIT doing economics at the master's level. So thank you for that. Um, what about your own personal internships, hobbies, other things that might be of interest to us?
Yeah, so again, in my pandemic only, I utilized that time the most productively now that I see. And that was also the time I did a few internships. So one of that I did with because I was interested in internship entrepreneurship. I worked with a startup consulting firm from Bangalore, and it was a remote internship, but it actually provided me a very good idea about the startup culture and entrepreneurship. And even though it had nothing to do with my field of study, I just did it out of my interest, and I just wanted to know more about where this can take me. So that was one of my internships, and the second internship was with University of California, Berkeley, Haas School of Business. So it was a very interesting internship. I mean, the most meaningful one, I would say, because that was one where I could actually see where economics is applied in real life. And I was basically a part of a behavioral research experiment which was being conducted by the Haas School of Business. And so we were paired up with a team of students randomly, and we were basically spying on them, but they did not know that. So they were given a work
Well,
that
but by the way, that is the essence of spying. That they don't know you
yeah.
as the but
Yeah,
if
I
they,
mean that is
if
what's
they, if
fine.
they knew you were spying on them, how is that spying?
Yeah, yeah. So that is fine. I just defined what's fine is.
Yeah,
But yeah, so we were basically they were trying to analyze that how the productivity levels have differed when the employees are working online versus when they're working in their offices with their other colleagues. So that was a very interesting research experiment, and I could also learn a lot. I mean, the conclusions were actually fascinating.
yeah.
So
Okay, that's
it
wonderful.
was a very short, yeah, it was a very short stint, but it was very meaningful.
Yeah,
So
you're not the only student who has said that the pandemic actually allowed you to do things that you couldn't even imagine earlier, right?
exactly,
Because the
exactly.
whole world became digital,
Hmm.
and suddenly,
Yeah,
instead of going to class in Kolkata, you were working with a professor in California.
yeah,
You can't even imagine it,
exactly,
You're sitting at home
exactly.
and time
I
difference.
mean, when it was offline, like everything had to be that you go to that place and you turn up. But online, the digital world basically opened up a lot of opportunities for us. And it changed things forever. Like even if things are offline right now, we still have those opportunities which we could not think of before.
Yeah, that's
So,
great that you took advantage of it. What about fun? I mean, or studying your idea of fun?
fun. Basically, my undergraduate days was so the entrepreneurship cell that I was associated with. They became my core team, like my core friend group, and so we used to reach out to different industry experts for different events, and we used to organize many interesting events. So that was very like it was a very good connection that I formed, and it also helped me develop my interpersonal skills on a very good level, and it developed my public speaking abilities, my helped me break through my introvertedness. So that was a very
Look, it
interesting
really
experience, I would
shattered your introvertedness because that is completely gone. We don't see that
say.
at all.
Yeah,
You're just like anybody else now. There's no introvertness.
but that was there. Like
Okay.
previously, it was there, and I was a total introvert.
Okay. All
So,
right.
but
So
and
good.
also my blog, I got a chance to meet with many different people, like people who are not studying economics, but they're so interested. And I had friends from statistics background. I had friends who are doing a course in pol science maybe. They all came up to put up articles in these blogs. So, and it was also greatly appreciated. So it gave me a very good boost of confidence, and also it encouraged my interest to pursue economics beyond what is usually taught in the courses. So that was like my constant engagement in the pandemic, and it was one of the activities I really enjoyed. Like,
Yeah.
so
You know, just to add a little bit here, for me, economics is not about only the subject that they teach you. They actually teach you to think in a different way. Economics is an economist thinks differently because you start
totally.
in a different way. You don't know it, but it has changed the way in which you analyze the situations. Right? And that
It's a
and
way
that
of thinking, I would say.
that's what I'm saying. It's a
It's a
way of
way.
thinking. I'm agreeing with you. It's a way of thinking
Yeah,
that is good or bad, but it is certainly different from others. Right?
yeah.
And okay,
It
good.
is not just what is taught in
No, it's not just
colleges.
right, right, right. Okay. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, so a piece of advice for the juniors because I receive a lot of queries, especially about IIT and especially about how I managed to crack the entrances. So I would say that what matters is what you really want. Like, I think that was the turning point in my journey when I realized that I want this, I want to specialize in quant, and I want to go for IIT. So IIT has a relatively new course, but it offers a lot of opportunities. Like, it has centers, it has things which other economics departments don't offer. So if you are able to utilize those, I think then it adds value to your course. Like, it has center of AI and economics is coming up here. So that won't be available to you anywhere else in the country.
Yeah.
So for people who know that they want to specialize in this domain and they want to delve further into data
Mm.
particularly,
Yeah.
for them it is a very good opportunity. Right?
Okay.
You are getting a chance to collaborate with the techies. You are getting the best of those courses, and at the same time you are also able to pursue economics.
Right.
So I think that interdisciplinary flavor is what IIT has to offer,
Okay.
and
So,
it
so
is
they're going
great
to
to
make
take
you
it forward.
are they going to make you the brand ambassador of IIT Economics?
No, the awareness is so low. I mean, people are always asking me that why IIT? What
Yeah.
is there?
Yeah.
Does it even have economics? So
Yeah.
that's what I realized in these 2 months over here. Initially, I was also confused, like if I make the right choice.
Well, just to add, I mean, I got my PhD from MIT in economics, and it is like IIT surrounded by techies,
Exactly.
right? So it's a similar situation. And certainly,
Absolutely.
I can appreciate what you are saying, that, you have, and of course, MIT also offers political science. It doesn't have psychology, but it has
Mm.
political science and so on. So the fields are very different, and you get to meet the people from all
Yeah,
kinds of fields, and you
exactly.
understand what they're saying, and you talk your way and they talk their way. It works very well, I think. It does. It will at least work for me, but I wanted to hear from you. And okay, so anything else you want to add? We can't hear you now.
Yeah, so yeah, that is all about my journey. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible, so continue. Whatever else, I mean, we are open here, so anything else you want to add, please add.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that the life is tough in, especially if you want to go for a master's, like cracking the entrances and all, it gets very overwhelming. But uh, after all of this, I think it is worth it, like, for people who are giving up their dreams midway. Because I hear many people who are like, it is a lot of pressure, like the Indian education system, it is very unfair. And the entrances, they make no sense. Like, it is so, there's such a lot of cutthroat competition. But I think that it is worth it. And if you endure a bit longer, the journey is worth it.
Okay, that's
So,
a very, very optimistic and powerful note. Let's end it here, shall we, at this note?
yeah,
Okay,
perfect.
so thank you,
Yeah,
Vandita,
thank you.
for being here and telling us a story that at least I have never heard before, going to IIT. It's very comforting to know that IITs offer good education for economists. And I'll be back, let's say bye, and I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon. Bye till then. Bye. You can say bye,
Thank you.
Vandita. Okay.
Bye. Bye,
All right.
everyone.
Okay. See you later. Bye bye.